Bearder Bros Golf Show. We're back for another week. I'm Rod.
And I'm Marcus.
So, you know, I'm a little haggard, as you can see, coming off of Vegas. Got in at almost 12:45 last night, so a little low energy this morning. But we're gonna grind this thing out. We thought golf season was winding down. We were
Oh yeah,
mistaken,
DP World Tours
no
till like
doubt.
mid-November. LPGA is till like middle November, end of November type deal. I think they're seeing me race to the Road to the Globe is like all the way end of November, and then it finishes in Florida where it's going to be 80 degrees anyway. So,
Right.
whether they plan for it to be that isolated and where we can just focus on the LPGA and DP, it ended up working out that way. So
It
luckily we're
is,
good
yeah.
on that form.
That means more golf for us to enjoy. You were going to say something about LPGA.
Yeah. So shoot, they were in Portland, and of course, in the most typical random fashion of the LPGA, a Monday qualifier goes on to win, and she's a tie player. I want to say her first name is something like it's not an American spelling, but it's an American like type name. Like you get what I'm saying?
Chanati Chanati
Yeah.
Wanasayan. I heard him saying it. Yeah, and she ended up winning by 4 strokes.
Right. She cooked. She cooked.
Yo, the LPGA is the most random place in golf right now. I just
It really
it there
is.
there are a bunch of names that keep popping up, and they people that make a name for themselves, and then they completely fall off, and then somebody else steps up to the plate. It's
Right.
so hard to keep track of.
And all along the way, Nelly Corda has retaken the number one ranking in the Rolex world ranking points the whole time.
But
Like,
how?
and I want to exactly, and I want to say she did this like a month ago. She took it back. Yeah,
And I think that that speaks to probably their parity because, like the Portland Open, she finished tied for 14th, but she hasn't been competing at a high level
right.
in at
We haven't
least
been
two
seeing her
months.
name top fives. Yeah, she's been fighting injuries and stuff like that. First, it was like she's still. I don't know if she's still battling the blood clots thing, but she still got the arm sleeves on and stuff like that. She still wears a lot of like quarter zips and like the little vest and stuff, just to kind of like keep the circulation going and whatnot instead of like letting that thing clot up again.
Hmm.
And then she had like a lower back issue. I want to say she was battling over the summer that she was talking about. So she was in Florida getting treatment, and then like because I follow her on IG, so she would be posting just a few snippets. They all real private and personal and stuff like that.
Right.
But like she posted a few little snippets over on her story and stuff like that. So I think it was her lower back of recent. But again, like I said, somehow, some way, she's still number one. It just doesn't.
That makes no sense.
It
Here,
does
here
not
I'm gonna go through
compute
the. I'm gonna go through
100%.
her results. So Portland Classic tied for 14th. CPKC Women's Open in Canada tied for 32nd. AIG Women's Open tied for 11th. That probably got her some points. Evian Championship tied for ninth. So she's somewhat performing in the majors. That's given her some clout. So going back to
Yeah,
July, U.S. Women's Open tied for 64th. KPMG Women's PGA Championship, she was cut. Cognizant Founders Cup back in May, cut.
yeah,
Um, didn't compete there back in April, tied for sixth. She had a good early part of the season. Chevron Championship, she was third. DO Implant Open, tied for fifth. A 57, T57 in the second. 2-6 fourth. So that early on in the year, she was cooking. And like you said, those injuries apparently bit her and really knocked her game down. But I guess enough to over the course of the season, and no one else consistently
right. No
stepping
one
up to the
else.
plate. No one's been
I think
able to
that's probably
compete.
what, yeah. I think that's probably what it is. It's just there's nobody else that is consistent enough to take the number one and keep it away from her. So just kind of like a war of attrition
No,
type deal, I guess, from the LPGA. I don't know.
no, you're right.
And
Okay, because I'm looking for the young lady Kang that won. Okay, so she
Megan,
ended up tied for six. So yeah, Megan won last week, and I know she was
Yeah.
tied at some point for first. So she ended up six, solo six. So yeah,
Solo
man. But
six.
then
So how many people? So
solo
there were
six this
four
week.
people that ended up finishing 20 or 21. Our hey, our
Three.
favorite enemy, Saganda, ended up trying to play well.
I, I don't mind Carlotta Segunda's game. Like her game is fine. She just plays slow, and she's a snitch. So,
I felt like she
um,
was trying to do some stuff this Sunday when I was watching coverage too. By the way, bro, like I feel like
really,
she kept like just stuttering into the shot. Like it was kind of like it was like a mini Keegan Bradley with not as many icks. It was just,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like looking down at the club, twirling it a little bit, like a little, and then finally would
Everything
make it up
about her
to.
is just kind of annoying.
It's kind of standoffish for sure, 100%. But she's
So,
got the game.
man, she's got the game. That's what's disappointing. So let's see if this wanna saying young lady does anything beyond this, and I'm pretty sure this secures her card if it
Yeah.
works like the PGA Tour, right? I mean,
Hmm.
pretty damn good for a Monday qualifier to come out with a win and
Seriously.
$225,000. That's life changing, just immediately.
Yeah.
And hopefully she goes on to be consistent. But I want somebody to step up as a star on the
Please.
LPGA. It's like it feels like it's community golf. Every week can be somebody else's game. So
Yeah. And I think that it's bittersweet because, like, I think it's also annoying though because the game, for sure, the LPGA is way more global than the men's game. And you can just
mhm.
see it in the names and the countries and the flags that you see every different week. But it's also annoying because they don't have like a President's Cup to, kind of coincide with the Ryder Cup so that
Yeah,
those, Thai players, all the Asian players, all the Australian players, all the New Zealand players, all those players that,
I'm gonna counter you on that. They do, but they don't.
right, it's
So
like the Founders Cup. It's a couple of different things that they have
yeah,
where like they
yeah,
have
they'll
the
do
eight,
things. Go ahead.
like they have that 8-man team event. It just started.
Hmm.
It was like last year was like the maiden year, and it didn't really pop off like they thought it was gonna do. Like it's just I just think once again, like we were saying, I just think in their efforts to make these team events and get these other international countries involved more, I just think it needs to be more organized, a little bit more,
Yeah,
just a little bit more push, just a little bit more advertised, so that we can get these things out here and make it a yearly, annual thing, to where we can have it competing with I just wanted to compete with something
right.
like comparative than like the President's Cup, because the Solheim is
Yeah,
definitely the Ryder Cup, but they don't have something that combines to be like the President's Cup. That's all I was saying.
right.
But
No,
I
I
definitely
agree.
know there's some
Yeah,
of
no,
these
it's
events
bad.
like
It's bad. The
right.
strategy behind it is bad. They don't find isolated weeks. I'm pretty sure the one that they played in California earlier this year, I think it was the Crown Cup or something like that,
Hmm.
which was supposed to be this international event, competed with the PGA Tour week. I'm sorry, it's not gonna fly, and especially if you're then going on West Coast time, and yeah, that can help, because you're getting some prime time eyes on you. But if
Yeah.
you're competing with Golf Channel reruns of the PGA Tour event, you're probably going to lose out if you're going to
Right.
do a international event. It really has to be some strategy to that. Again, we know Solheim Cup stands alone. It's its own thing. It's going to be the week before the Ryder Cup this year. Cool. So you're going to have eyes on it. It's going to be special. We know that. But
Yeah.
when you're trying, like you said, an auxiliary event has to be just more prominent, and it's tough if it's in the same year as a Solheim Cup.
Right.
Either. I mean,
No,
I get
yeah,
it.
run it that opposite year, like President's Cup.
Yeah, yeah,
Like put it in Malaysia, put it in Thailand, put it in China, put it in these international countries, so people have to travel and go to it. We have to worry about when the TV coverage is, because I bet
yeah,
you if it's over there on the far East Coast, some of these people in America want to watch LPGA golf and they want to watch Americans play. So I bet you they'll be on Golf Channel at 10 p.m., at 11
yeah.
p.m. to watch this live coverage.
You
It
know
can't
how
always
we,
just be in the West Coast. It can't always just be in
yeah,
America.
I know, we sometimes we're victims of living in our own bubble. And, we
Right.
had that, commenter from Norway a couple of weeks ago talking about how they enjoyed the PGA Tour, coverage and version of golf. I really do. I am curious, like, because the LPGA is so international, how it's viewed in other countries, especially in Asia, where a lot of these players are coming from. Even a
Right.
lot of our American stars have roots over in Asia. Their
Hmm.
parents are from Korea, or Japan, or whatever the case may be. That even if they're born Americans, they have roots otherwise. And so I'm very curious how LPGA is viewed and if popularity is higher in other countries. And, the
Very
US,
true.
we're kind of like, man, y'all could just be doing so much better. I don't know. I'm very curious if someone out there is like a super LPGA fan that lives in Thailand somewhere,
No, that's
you
very
know?
true. That's very true because and it's just like, I mean, not not to be like sounding like privileged or anything, but I feel like sometimes we just kind of just toss it over to the side because like it's something we always have. It's something that we always get to see. They don't always get to see it. They don't. That this might
Yeah,
be their best product of golf that they get to see and get televised and things like that. When we're just sitting here like we got college golf we could watch, we got PGA, we got the Maury reruns we could watch in between the live events and stuff like that. Just things like that that you can always be tuned into. They don't always have that opportunity. So you
that's
know
pretty
what?
slick, throwing it. That was pretty slick with the Maury reference. Good on you for
But yeah,
that.
no, it's right. So like sometimes I do feel like we get spoiled, but I feel like also like we don't always push out. I think we should get more of their opinion, like you said, so we can feel and see what else we can be doing better. Shout out to Steiner again. Shout out Norway. Appreciate you for all your contributions the other week. Never forget you, boss. For real.
Yeah, absolutely. Made an impact. I've been thinking about it. I mean,
Real, seriously. I
seriously.
mean, for real. I mean, for real.
I do want to announce some things kind of as we wrap up. I mean, we came on to talk about the European stuff, but just from a channel perspective, if you're watching this, if you're not subscribed, appreciate you clicking the subscribe button. If you're watching this later on, we have hit a landmark in the YouTube world where we're able to now offer a few things, and just got some exciting news overnight that we will be able to offer channel memberships. You will be able to super chat, as we go live, and
Nice.
we're always going to have a good mix of some kind of video on demand produced type stuff content. We've been leaning heavily on the lives here this year, but this is always going to be a part of the channel because, I mean, the golf world moves so quickly, and being able to talk about current events outside of a video on demand type of format. So, just big things happening with the channel. Appreciate every single person who's ever tuned in, liked, comment, shared anything that we've done here. I'm super appreciative. I understand, like, there's a lot of content that you can watch on the internet. So, what we're doing on our little corner, like tiny, tiny speck of dust in a corner.
Right.
We appreciate any support and love that you have offered us. It's definitely felt, and, enabling us to, keep pushing things forward, bring better content, increase the production value as we move along. So thank you, salute, and, definitely appreciative as we hit a milestone and have many, many more that we want to get to as well. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, same sentiments, man. Like, we came on a whim, just thinking like, we always like to talk golf, so we might as well do it. Let other people just join in if they want to, and it's just gaining some traction, and just going all the way from Dallas to wherever we may reach. It's just always been very humbling. It's always been very refreshing, and then just being able to do that and keep it going for as long as we have, and not always being on Sunday, but we're gonna find a way to get some live in. It's been
yeah,
really, really fun to make it happen, and I appreciate you bringing me along for the ride as well, right? I mean, you'd have made in God for it, and you know, you just had an idea, and we've really just been running with it. I appreciate you for it, for real.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. Thank you, Mom. Congratulations. Accepted. We're trying to keep. We've tried to be consistent about this thing, and I
Facts.
think that's the biggest part of it. So
Make it
you
a
will
habit.
see. You will see a join button coming soon to the channel so you can, get some elevated perks, get things early, additional access. Kind of going to still work out how that's going to look on the back end of things, but be looking out for some small changes here and there that if you want, you can support the channel. Again, just to help us bring higher level content, whether it's shoe reviews, just better quality cameras, whatever the case may be, and how that works out. We're doing this for the people. We're golfers that want to talk to other golfers. So, again, appreciative. And Bearder Bros Golf Show signing out for another week. We'll see you again back next week. I'm Rod.
And our Marcus, peace.
Peace.